It is Friday, September 15th, and the time is 12:40 p.m. It's been quite a while since I made a video, so I decided to go ahead and do a quick one. I'm going to go ahead and show 3 weeks worth of data, starting off with the VIX. Looking back, we had moved down to S1, moved up from there. The following week, had one opportunity in here that did not go well, and there could have been a loss. This is Friday in here, so chances are you wouldn't be adding to it. Would have been long in here and would have had to take an exit toward the end of the week. This week we had one opportunity to R1 that would have done well, and that's that. Looking at gold, there is looking back at this week in here, we started with one opportunity on R1 that didn't really go much of anywhere. It would have been a small gain by the end of the week. Then the following week we had another opportunity for long in here that would have made hardly anything at all, would have been break even. And this week we have not reached any of the levels, so no trades would have been taken. So gold has not really given a lot of opportunities this week. The ZN, the 10-year, we had one opportunity here that would have done really well based on the Friday news 3 weeks ago. And that would have been a Friday, 7 a.m., maybe not. I would most probably not have taken it. I wasn't trading that week. I haven't been trading in a couple of weeks. I've been out of town. Then the following week, nothing really set up unless you're aggressive and you took this in here. That's a little bit too aggressive for me, especially being the 10-year note, and nothing set up for this week. Same thing with the 10-year. It follows the notes. This was a problem child here from 3 weeks ago. If you had looked at oil, moved up to R1, you would have taken a short in here that continued. You could have added in here, and both positions would have stopped with a decent loss in here. So any system at all, there will be those weeks where it just gets out of hand, and those losses have to be taken once every 2 months or so. Then the following week, nothing really set up. This week we only had one short, but it's continuing to go higher. We had a chance this morning to get out of it at break even or a small gain, and then still standing, looking to be moving higher for the following week. So oil is not a good instrument to be trading now. It's trending quite strongly. MES, we had in here, we would have been along 3 weeks ago. That would have taken a lot of heat. You could have added to it, and both positions, either you'll take a loss in here toward the end of the week, or maybe possibly in here somewhere, or you could have held and waited for it to come back to break even on both somewhere in here. That would have been break even on both this long, this short and this short combined would have been break even somewhere in here. And this week we really didn't reach any of the levels, either R1 or S1. The NQ, similar way as the MES, had moved up. It would have been short in here, then another short, and both would have been at a loss if you had decided to close at the end of the week, or you could have held for the following week and went out at break even. This week we got close, but nothing set up. The only thing I think set up was the MYM. M2K, similar to MES and MNQ, short. You could have got out with a small loss in here, and that was a Friday, so that's what I would most probably have done. You could have held it, and actually both positions would have went out with a nice gain if you had held for the following week. And so if you had done short, and you would have had to be long in here, or or exit the shorts at this the following week, and that would have been a nice gain. And or even long in here and he just stayed with the position and didn't go anywhere, would have been out somewhere today on a Friday. M1 had a real nice setup this week in here that would have really touched R1 and completely dropped back to the weekly open. That would have been a nice setup for 53,335, about 300 points. But 3 weeks ago would have been similar, short. Maybe you would have gotten out with a small loss in here somewhere, or held it for a gain for the following week. 6A, nothing set up this week. Would have been long in here. That would have done okay. You would have been out here on Friday morning, or maybe here Friday morning. And we had one set up this week for long that done well. It would have been long. No, this is not a long. This is weekly open. So nothing set up, only a short in here that would have given you a small gain or would have been break even. I've been out of it by now at break even. 6E had a few setups. We had a short in here. I would have definitely taken this one, is close enough, and it would have taken some heat. Then toward the end of the week you would have closed it for a gain. No chance to add into this one. And the following week we could have been long in here for a small gain toward the end of the week. And this week would have been long for a nice gain back to the open, weekly open. 6B, similar. This short would have taken some heat, but not much. But toward the end of the week, it would have done well. Would have been good for 2,700 to about 100 ticks. Then the following week, we could have been long in here, then out, break even toward the end of the week. And this week nothing really set up on the 6B. The Swiss franc had a short, then long. This short would have done well. Long in here would have been break even or a small loss, and nothing else set up. The Canadian short, that would have done good toward the end of the week. I would have most probably closed it in here. Now let's see what time's this. Yeah, I would have probably been out by 8 o'clock in the morning, thinking toward the end of the week I may have missed this altogether, or may have held through the news and been out in here. I wasn't trading that. I was just looking at it. But it would have been okay. Nothing here, either break even on the Canadian or gain if he had decided to hold it toward the end of the day, through the news. Then the following week we had a long in here that did well. Then this week it would have been short once, added to it, and both could have been out here, break even, or you could be holding the position waiting on 2 or 3 more hours for the market to close until next week. Corn and just along in here. Wheat, we had nothing this week. This is a gap. I think this is just change of contract. So nothing here, nothing. Just the only thing is that's just a rollover from 1 month to another. I can't remember which months we're trading on in wheat. So this would have been a long that would have done well, and you can close it at this moment for a nice gain. Soy, nothing this week. This is when we rolled to a new contract. nothing, and nothing the rest of the week. Natural gas had a few opportunities if you dare to trade natural gas. Then we had a short in here, and would have done okay toward the end of the week, not much though. Then we had a long that would have done okay, again no massive gain. Short that would have done well, you could have added to it again, or take another short and picked up a gain. I would have picked up the gain here based on this level in here. So would have been short, cover, or cover the end of the week. Forex, I have some positions on Forex. I was able to trade that on my cell phone as I was out. So this is the ADCAD. We had a short added to it, and both would have done really well for a cover on Friday. And if you held through the news, then you would have been holding through this and maybe adding a gain in here, and you close the end of the week for a gain. And the following week we had a long quite a few times that have done okay. You would have been out here. That's a level of resistance that would have been out with some gain. This week didn't have anything else going on this instrument. ADCHF, no, just a short in here, didn't do much of anything. Long the following week, that would have done okay, and I did take a short in here that I'm still holding. I may hold it till next week, or depending on what happens in the next couple of hours, may take some gain if we go down to R1. So I didn't take this one, and I'm glad I didn't, but I did take this short in here. The Aussie, we had a short that did take some heat, then would have been out to a small gain. Plenty of times, opportunities to enter that short, and it did take some heat both times. Then it would have been long in here, plenty of opportunities to take it as well. That would have done okay for the following week, and I did take a short on this day at 8 a.m. That's Thursday morning, and I'm still holding it for a small gain. On the ADJPY, short and short. This would have been a small gain. This one I'm still holding with a small loss. Oh, I didn't take this one. Actually, I didn't take this one at all. And so if I did, it would have been a small loss. Then the CADJPY, nothing. And I did take a short in here. I'm holding with a small loss. The CAD Swiss, we would have missed it in here with the spread. Missed it, so nothing those 2 weeks. Did take a short in here, and it took a lot of heat added to it, and I'm holding both at a small loss. Swiss yen long. Of course, that's Friday, and Friday morning I may not initiate a new position, but this would have done okay, and nothing else set up after that. Euro AUD, we had a long here, we've done okay, would have given us 67.11 to 67, about 80 pips. Then it would have been short somewhere in here for a gain of about 30 pips or so, and long once, twice, 3 times in here. This last time it would have dropped I picked it up in here for long and it's doing okay now. I'm holding on to it. Most probably hold it for next week because the move is a little extended in here. So it's okay, but a little slight gain in here. Euro Swiss, then we could have been short with a gain obviously, and short with a small gain, and nothing else set up for the following week. EuroCAD, this is a good trade, and this would have been a good trade. Then after that it went down heavily. I didn't pick it up in here, but I would have been long here. By the time I saw it, I was awake, it was already down to here, or I was ready to trade, so I took the trade in here. This is the trade I took, and now I'm holding it with a decent gain. Euro New Zealand is short and long. I don't have that position. Nothing in here. Nothing on Euro Yen. We had a short on Pound Aussie. That would have done really well. This long would have been okay until we got to this news. Then again I picked it up in here somewhere. That's when I took the trade, holding it with a small loss right now. Euro Pound, nothing really. Maybe this one, but most probably would not been filled in here. Pound Swiss, only a short 3 weeks ago. Nothing else. Euro USD, this would have been short or taking a lot of heat, but it finally came down and gave us an opportunity to close the end of the week with a nice gain. This would have been a long. That would have done okay, or maybe most probably break even by the end of the week. And we had a chance to go long yesterday and this morning. And I'm not taking this trade. I didn't take this trade, but I would have been holding for a small gain. Pound short, added to it, then both would have done really well toward the end of the week. And most probably if I'd taken this short and short in here, I would have been at a gain, small gain. I most probably would have taken my profit in here somewhere before the news. The news came in. It was positive toward this trade, short trade, but I would have been out in here with a small gain, not held it. Then the following week we had been long at S1, and that would have been a small loss at the end of the week, or you could have held it or for break even or a small gain for the following week. Then nothing else set up this week. New Zealand yen, only a short 3 weeks ago. Then we had a short this morning that I did not take. New Zealand CAD, short twice, 3 times. Then in here we could have added to it or held it through this and out with a small gain. Then we had longs the following week quite a few times. It would have been nice gain back to the open, and nothing this week. New Zealand, quite a few shorts that would have given us a small gain. Quite a few longs that would have given us a small, tiny gain, depending when he exited. The Swiss did really good this week, actually. For them, 3 weeks ago, would have been long that went all the way back and continued. Then would have been short in here that ended up with break even and nothing this week. CAD is the one that did well. CAD, we had a long. This is Friday, most probably would not have taken it. I would not have been long in here. It's too far away. Then I would have been short on R1 the following week, Thursday night into the Friday close. And this week, maybe I would have been long. I didn't take any trades on this instrument. I would have been still holding a small loss. Then the yen had only one opportunity 3 weeks ago. So that's pretty much it for the past 3 weeks. And again, I've been out of the trading picture for a few weeks now with the travel and stuff like that, personal issues I had to deal with, and I will try to post more often in the near future.